How far would you go to defend yourself or anyone else?
That's a tricky question. I'm going to prevent, as far as I'm able, anybody from killing anybody. I don't have a gun. I would use it very badly if I had one. I do think that one should not kill other human beings. I know that's very hard, but killing other people, you have simply to say, when you've killed your enemy, you have to say, well, did I love my enemy? Augustine said you can kill him and love him at the same time. I'm not sure that that's convincing. So you would do everything to wrestle a person away from killing anybody or killing himself. But I think you should hesitate from taking the life of that person. Jesus himself said in a very striking statement there, Matthew, put up your sword, Peter, which was a defensive sword there. Put it away, because all who take the sword will perish with the sword. I ask this question: why are the clergy not supposed to bear arms? The answer is it's thought to be obscene that the clergy should be killing the clergy. If you'll go to my site, I wrote an article when I was getting my degree in the college there at Bethany Seminary. I wrote an article on Christians killing each other. That seems to me not what Jesus would advocate. And I made the point that the clergy are not allowed to kill the clergy. Would it not be equally sensible to imagine that Christians shouldn't kill Christians? In that article, I pointed out that a Roman Catholic found himself blessing Pilate, who dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. And he said, my goodness, what am I doing? Because at Hiroshima, there were a lot of nuns. Have a look at that. See what you think. Get back to us. If I've missed a point there, let me know what you think at some point. It'd be interesting.
This is a good time to plug our other website. This is probably would you say, Anthony, this is probably the most difficult teaching Jesus left us, maybe?
I would think so. It's very difficult. I don't hesitate to admire and to be thankful for those who give their lives to keep the rest of us alive. Obviously, that's noble. I'm just not convinced that Jesus would have been part of the war machine.
We also have a good history section here, and you can see the timeline that for at least the first 400 years or so, most Christians, the majority of Christians, tried to follow a nonviolent existence. They were horribly persecuted. I mean, they allowed themselves, Anthony, their families themselves, to go into the Colosseum and be eaten by the wild beasts. So how far can we go in protecting ourselves and family or friends? Well, I'm always reminded of Romans 8. Can anything separate us from Christ's love? Does it mean he no longer loves us if we have trouble or calamity, or are persecuted, or hungry, or destitute, or in danger, or threatened with death? Did Paul go on to say, therefore get a gun and defend yourself or your name? No, look at this. As the scriptures say, for your sake we are killed every day. We are being slaughtered like sheep. So sometimes we die because of Christ. Now the early churches, majority, had this, what I call, spirit of martyrdom. That spirit has been gone for so long, Anthony.
Well, people don't, we're shielded by the law here, thankfully, in this country. You can't go around shooting people for religious reasons. It wasn't always so. Calvin was a murderer. We know that John Calvin authorized expressly the death of Michael Servetus for being a Unitarian, for not being a Trinitarian. So things have improved to that extent. The law will defend us now. We have a right of free speech to express our theological views, and nobody can take our life on that account. So things are much better. However, the buck stops for me when we're asked for Christians to kill other believers, much less their enemies. It sounds wrong to kill your enemies. Well, Jesus did say that. But killing other believers, which inevitably happens in world wars, that I think cannot be right. By this, everybody will know that you're my disciples, Jesus said, if you have love one for another. I don't think Christians killing each other in war is any evidence of Christians loving each other.
Yeah, I don't think that's the spirit of Christ. That's not the spirit of God. It's actually the spirit of Augustine. The Christian can kill out of love.
Yes.
That's an Augustinian spirit and not from God. So